Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, AEW people are appalled in a new backstage thing.
A big Royal Rumble returns are planned for next year.
Some news on who might be winning WWE's new women's tournaments.
Ooh, and legends are set for Saturday night's main event. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Alright, the word appalled is being used by Brian Alvarez to describe people's reaction.
Appalled, I say.
To Toni Storm's debut, in-ring return, taking place on Rampage instead of Dynamite or even Collision. Rampage, of course, the third biggest AEW show, really. And they've announced that Toni is going to be wrestling on it. Her return match airs tonight. I think it's tonight. Or is it next week? My brain doesn't work. I'm terribly sorry. But yeah, she returned on Dynamite, which we covered on yesterday.
Yeah.
And the match is going to be this Friday. She confronted Mariah May after Mariah had beaten Mina Shirakawa. They didn't fight or anything. Toni just was on the ramp with her old gimmick, not timeless anymore. Mariah was in the ring like, oh no. They, of course, had the big match at Wembley, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, it bodes well for their in-ring work going forward, and Toni rocks.
Featured on our awards, no spoilers yet. But
that'll be going out next week. Keep your eyes open for that. Really fun stuff. Promotion of the year was interesting.
It sure was.
But yeah, so according to Brian Alvarez, he's spoken to a bunch of people in AEW, and all of them were just aghast and appalled that they would put Toni's return on Rampage. He said that if you lined up 200 people at Tony Khan's office and they gave their opinion on it, they would all be like, I'm appalled. So there you go.
I'm appalled, Mr. Khan.
It's like the Kanye West song off of
So appalled.
Yeah, it's good. There's a Jay-Z line on there. All of y'all can I won't repeat that.
Sure is.
But it's interesting. I think there's a thing with when it comes to smaller shows, right? When it comes to Ring of Honor, Rampage, whatever you want to say. People say this about Athena and Ring of Honor as well. But a lot of the time when something big goes on one of these shows, a lot of people will go, why is that on there? Why is that not on the main show? But then they will go, oh, there's nothing big on these shows. Why would I watch this? So it's with situations like this, you often get people talking out both sides of their mouth.
Yeah.
And it's you can't have it both ways. If you want big things on the show and they put something big on the show, you have to kind of acknowledge that. You can't just go, why are they doing it on here? But there should be more on it. It doesn't make any sense. This is a little different, I think.
Yes.
Because Rampage doesn't exist in 2 weeks.
It's about to die.
Yeah, so I do think this one's a little bit different. And I do think that to say why is this taking place on the show that won't exist in a fortnight, that's a fair criticism, I think.
Yeah.
Usually I think it's nonsense, but case by case basis, it is a bit silly.
Yeah, we're in agreement on this one. I always said the exact same thing before we started filming Rampage is... I don't bother with Rampage anymore. Sid was talking about it last week with people saying it's a really good show, it's worth checking out. And I was like, why would I bother now?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be dead in 3 weeks, like you say.
I guess this past week, I did watch it. It had the Continental Classic matches.
So Briscoe was on there, wasn't there? Briscoe match,
versus Garcia and stuff. So, it was... They had they had a squash as well, so...
On Rampage.
You'll never guess it. Deonna Purrazzo absolutely killed somebody. It was awesome. She looked great.
I do like those on an occasion.
Yeah.
I had this row with people a while back when the whole Santana and Ortiz thing was going on, and that I'm fairly certain that was kind of mainly based on Rampage.
Yeah, it was.
And I said the same thing, and I did get some response, and I thought, you know what, fair enough. I said, why haven't they put any of this on AEW Dynamite? Because it was awesome, the video back and stuff that I saw. And people, did come back and say, well, to be fair, you're also sat there complaining that there's nothing worth watching on Rampage. So I get that in that scenario, but this, especially with someone like Toni Storm, one of the biggest female wrestlers of the year, one of the most successful people within AEW in 2024, without question, it does seem a little strange to be like, you want to see her? Watch her on this show that's not going to be there in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, I agree.
I would have even been okay with a Collision return.
Yeah, sure.
More than this.
Sure. It just seems like...
Appalled's quite a funny term, though,
Appalled
isn't it?
is a funny term. And the thing
Some
is...
like flipping tables.
Yeah, Toni, I'm so offended by this!
Someone did that when Ospreay lost the World Cup final for WCPW.
I imagine that... I imagine that the phrasing Brian has used here is maybe a bit over the top.
Yeah.
Maybe some people were just this is a bit weird. What are they doing? Because, really, what I would do if I was the man with the pencil, if I was Mr. Tony Khan, I would be like, okay, we've brought Toni back on TV.
Yeah.
We've done a surprise, which is good sometimes. So
awesome,
that, in this era, it's often build something up and then do it and you know what's coming, but build viewers, people tune in. And AEW's ratings are not good at the moment, so that would have been a good choice for them, perhaps. But they did the surprise, which I applaud. I prefer surprises. I would have done in 2 weeks on Dynamite, Toni Storm returns to the ring, and I'd have built it up. Next week,
would that have been the Hammerstein show?
I think so. So then you could do like next week. You could do like sit down. Tony.
We hear from her.
Tony sits down with Jim Ross, and it's like, what have you been doing the past 4 months? What's been going on?
I thought you were retired.
Yeah. And then build up to the match.
Yes.
But he doesn't promote like that anymore, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, that is one of the things that's kind of fallen by the wayside over the years with AEW. We did an entire video on how to fix the problems with AEW, which is on the channel. It's worth checking out. Sidge went into great detail on there.
And the frustrating thing is that they've got great stuff like Hangman versus Swerve, and then a lot of the other stuff is just not even a second.
It's the week-to-week side of things, isn't it? Yeah. It's just almost too much that you can't get along to. He needs to take a break. He needs to take a break, reassess. It'd be nice for just wrestling to have a break, because it would allow for bookers like this to sort of go, okay, what's our plan? What do we want to do? What do we want to achieve by the end of 2025? Whereas now the pressure is so much on it. It's like, oh God, we're Hammerstein in a couple of weeks and all this. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on it in the comments.
Brody King World Champion 2025. The agenda starts now. There he is.
Thanks again to Mark Lee Willis for our...
the big man.
You can't call them toys, can you? Action figures.
You can't. It's Brody King. You can't.
He's no
mess.
toy.
You can't mess.
He's a boy toy. That's what he is.
He's a legend. I love Brody King.
Tell you who else I love. People in the Royal Rumble.
Hey.
I don't know. It's coming your way. 1st of February next year, of course. Already huge amounts of speculation as who's going to be in it. And, the rumours have started about big return set for that show. Viper.
Not
Randy Orton. The person of PW Nexus has claimed 2 massive returns are set to happen. Featuring in the Royal Rumble, but possibly even beforehand, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch will return by the Royal Rumble, according to PW Nexus. However, sources told WrestleVote that Flair's return is imminent and could happen as soon as this Saturday night. Is Saturday night's main event, of course. Bit of a change in Charlotte Flair's presentation is what WrestleVotes are reporting as well. We saw her teasing this a while back with like a diamond in ice or whatever it was that she was teasing on social media. Yeah, look, these are 2 people who are going to be really key to WWE's big 2025, their Netflix side of things, and of course, returns on the road to WrestleMania, we can say, whether it's at the Rumble or prior. Very excited to see both of them back in the ring.
Definitely. Charlotte needs to be a heel.
Yep.
I think, like, the various babyfaces runs that we've tried over the past couple of years haven't really connected. Yeah, and stuff like that is funny. Like the belt swap with Becky was hilarious in retrospect.
Yeah.
But I think she should just be presented like her dad, and she should just be the alpha heel of this division, because she's great at that. And also, she beats the crap out of people in the ring, baby. And that's what I like to see.
Yeah, I do want to see Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton, which doesn't really work because I think they're both better at playing heels, to be perfectly honest. But, yeah, I just think fans find it far easier to take Charlotte Flair with the history she's got of just coming back in and being immediately thrust into title pictures. Better as a heel. I agree, and Becky Lynch obviously better as a babyface.
Yeah, 100%. Becky, she's been gone like a decent chunk now to where like the return is going to feel really big. I often think that she's taken time off. She's looking after herself and looking after her family, so it's a bit different. But like oftentimes when there's like a WWE or an AEW as well, someone goes away, they're back in like 4 weeks, and it's like, I haven't had a chance to miss you yet. Yeah. But with Becky, she's been gone long enough. It was the same with Toni Storm this week, 4 months. That's a good chunk. So I'm looking forward to seeing her back in action. I hope that we see some legitimate activity, honestly. I hope we see a little bit of WWE PR, like before the Rumble, like leak a little story saying Becky's contract is unsure.
Oh.
They just did it with Obafemi in the like they put a little story out there on Saturday or Friday, and then he came in the match, and Vic Joseph was like, "It's Obafemi. He's in the match."
Come on, mate.
Come on, try harder, brother. Jeez.
Get excited for teachable moments, quite understandably, but just get excited for Obafemi.
Yeah.
Also, interesting thought, in case you missed this on NXT, the reason Obafemi was in that match was because Eddie Thorpe was attacked and taken out of it. Do you know who attacked him? Eddie Thorpe.
Okay.
He attacked himself.
What?
He just faked an attack so he can get a world title match.
What part of that makes sense?
It's NXT, baby. It's goated.
It's got no flipping logic, I'll give you that. Right.
Oh, I've been attacked.
But should Ava not go, no, I'm the boss?
He tricked her. So he tricked her into... He tricked Trick. Yeah, that makes sense. Into giving him a title match because he was like, I've been screwed out of it. And then the moment he signed the contract, he was like, psych, I pretended that the whole attack was made up. I love NXT, man. It's the best.
Jesus Christ, none of that makes any sense to my head. My old man head is fried.
Hey, you need to get with the youth, mate. We're all over there on TikTok, slaying or whatever.
On fleek.
It's giving goated, NXT.
It's serving up. Can't say that anymore.
No. Moving on.
See you next Tuesday. All right, okay.
We're back on Monday, by the way, for the old people who didn't understand that reference. We're definitely back on Monday to do the news.
Yeah, probably. I'm the channel manager. I can do what the hell I want. Right. We got some notes on these winners of the Intercontinental Tournament and the United States Tournament. Both of them are currently going on. According to WrestleVotes Radio, people in WWE are pushing for Natalya to win that competition. I guess the basis of that is that she's been here for years. She works really hard. She trains younger wrestlers.
Give R-Truth the world title then for that.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it's a mid-card title. Maybe it's a bit more. And look,
I'm in a grump, Andy. I'm in a grump.
Yeah, it's like me with NXT, to be fair. So we all have our vices. I think these titles are absolutely pointless anyway. But Chris Featherstone, the good doctor, he's just scooping everywhere these days, isn't he, Dr. Chris?
Was he running a secret little ice cream store? Because he's serving up the scoops.
Just call
Sorry, Doctor, I know you worked very hard to get that title and just mocked you and said you're an ice cream man. Nothing against ice cream people, by the way. An essential part of our community. And yet still serving ice creams in Saltwell Park in December.
Yeah, absolutely. The coffee shop in Saltwell Park is unbelievable. The new little gimmick there.
Yeah.
The guy takes it seriously, and I respect that. Yeah. But if you're not from Gateshead, that'll mean nothing to you.
Tits.
Dr. Chris has been on stating that Chelsea Green is currently stated to win the US Championship Tournament. So I would go with Chelsea Green because she just runs television whenever she's on. But, I mean, Dakota Kai's more interesting than Natalya, isn't she?
Yeah, I have two very different opinions on these two different tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, love Chelsea Green. I love this as a vehicle to finally give her the flowers that she's deserved for a long time. I could easily see them putting it on someone like Bayley as well, though, to factor into sort of like, you've really benefited from the whole Jade Cargill not being in this tournament anymore, when it's really Naomi who probably attacked her.
Also, I think it would be a good idea to have the first champion being Egyptian, too.
For the entrance back. What's wrong with you? But yeah, I could see it going either way there, but I like Chelsea Green as a pick. I could not think of a worse person to be the new Intercontinental Champion. I could, actually, if I really sat down and thought about it. But honestly, I just don't care about Natalya, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like, the two other people who've qualified for the semi-finals now, I think would be better picks already.
Yeah.
And there's another 6 people, including Natalya, that could also make the semis. Lyra Valkyria, really like her from her time in NXT, and she had that brief push. She lost the Queen of the Ring final, and I think it'd be fun to have her like holding a title, especially if like Becky came back and it was like she was her sort of prodigy or whatever. But yeah, Dakota Kai's right there. And she's deserved, a bit like Chelsea Green, she's deserved recognition for a long time. I get that you want to put it on like a really established name to establish the title, but Natalya...
Would you say that unlike Bayley, Natalya is pyramid?
Yeah.
Right? Get it? Because Bayley's Egyptian.
I think if you're putting the title on Natalya, you're just farting around with the title. That's what I'd say.
I think she seems like a very nice person.
I'm sure she's lovely. I've got nothing against her as a person. I just could not care less about her between the ropes.
We are assholes.
Right.
Next.
Speaking of assholes, no. Legends set for Saturday night's main event, Andy. Obviously, you've got the Ace, as I like to call him. Ventura, I've confused myself.
Jesse Ventura,
the Ace.
The body.
Alrighty then, he's going to be there on Saturday night, but he's not the only legend set for this show. Apparently, PW Insider reporting that Jimmy Hart, Ted DiBiase Sr., Greg the Hammer Valentine, Coco Beware, and Tito Santana are scheduled for the show. No word on what they're going to be doing, hopefully interfering and costing Cody Rhodes the world title. But like I say, we know Jesse Ventura is always going to be there on commentary for the show, of course.
Yeah, it's going to be.
And if he can't make it, Karrion Kross can always step in.
Yeah, they just like wire some audio in if Jesse's having a hard time.
I need. By the way, I genuinely want that meeting to happen, even if it's just a little like social media
Twitter
thing.
exclusive.
Carrying Cross. If you haven't seen the clip from Chris Van Vliet, it's awesome. He does the best Jesse Ventura impression I've ever seen.
Definitely, he should just go for it.
Yeah.
Greg the Hammer Valentine. The last time I saw him on a wrestling show was AEW in the middle of the pandemic, and he's just sitting on his own in Daly's place, like, yeah, brother. I love Greg Valentine, man.
A little bit of Coco Beware as well. I haven't seen that man for a long time.
Greg's flowing locks, man. He's a legend. And have you ever seen the Coco Beware squash match where he destroys the jobber?
No.
Like, he beats the out of this person. I'll have to show you.
I was spending my day today.
I think it's someone called the Masked Patriot or something. Coco Beware murders this guy. It's just something else. So hopefully he does that to Austin Theory.
Yes.
I'm joking.
Can't wait for this Saturday night's main event though. 2 hours.
2
on
hours
YouTube.
on YouTube for the cost of $3.99 here in the UK. And,
is that what it is?
Yeah,
it's a bargain.
Free.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
I was happy to pay $3.99 for it.
Yeah. My jokes are crap.
You could have taken that money off me this afternoon.
Why not?
I'll make sure YouTube lets you see it, Adam. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll grip
Oh,
it.
thanks, Andy.
Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed this video, check out this video right here.
I need more news in my life, Andy. Should we come back later?
I think maybe.
Maybe.
See
See you in a bit.
you later. Bye.